Hello, dear friend. Welcome back to English Talks with Avie. Relax, listen, and improve your English.
Hello, my friend. It is so good to be back with you. Have you ever had a morning where everything went wrong? Maybe you spilled your coffee or you missed your bus. We usually think these are bad days. But what if a mistake was actually a door to a new life? Today we will meet Maya. She is about to have a very strange morning. It starts with a button in a lift, and it ends in a way she never imagined. Let's take a breath, relax, and go to the city with Maya. The sun was hot in the city. The noise of the cars and the people was like a loud song. Maya was standing in front of the Sky Tower, a building of glass that was so tall it seemed to touch the clouds. Maya was wearing a new black blazer. It was a little bit too tight, and the tag was still scratching her neck. She was holding a leather folder with 5 copies of her CV. She was going to an interview at a company called TechStream on the 7th floor. She wanted a job as a junior secretary. It wasn't her dream job. Maya loved design and marketing, but she needed the money. "Okay, Maya, you can do this," she whispered. She looked at her watch. 8:59 a.m. The interview was at 9 a.m. She was running late. She ran into the lobby. Her heels made a loud click-clack sound on the marble floor. She ran to the lifts. A tall man in a very expensive suit was already there. He was looking at his phone and frowning. He looked very important. The lift doors opened with a soft ding. Maya stepped inside. The lift was small and smelled like expensive soap. The tall man pressed the button for floor 10. Maya reached out to press 7, but her hand was shaking. She was looking at the man, then at her watch, then at the buttons. She pressed a button quickly. The doors closed. The lift began to move. Maya looked at the screen above the door. 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost there, she thought. The lift didn't stop at 7. It kept going. 8. The doors opened on floor 9. Maya didn't look at the sign. She was looking at the time, 8:58 a.m. She ran out of the lift. She saw a large glass door. On the door it said, "Global Green Solutions, Meeting Room A." Underneath, there was a small sign that said 9 a.m., Strategy Presentation. This must be it, Maya thought. She was so nervous she didn't even notice the name of the company was different. She pushed the door open and walked in. The room was beautiful. There was a long wooden table. 10 people in suits were sitting there. They all stopped talking and looked at her. At the end of the table sat a woman with sharp glasses and a very serious face. "Ah," the woman said. "You're here. You're just in time. Please have a seat." Maya's heart was in her throat. "Oh, I'm sorry I'm a little late," she stammered. "Don't worry about it," the woman said. "We have a lot to cover. My name is Sarah, the CEO, and you must be... Well, we've been waiting for your perspective." Maya sat down in a soft leather chair. She looked around. Where was the TechStream logo? Why did everyone look so intense? She looked at the woman across from her. The woman had a name tag that said Marketing Director. Suddenly, Maya realized. She looked at the wall. There was a big clock. It said Global Green Solutions. "Oh no," Maya thought. Her stomach turned over. "I'm on the wrong floor. This isn't TechStream. This isn't the 7th floor," she thought. She looked at the door. If she got up and left now, she would have to explain. Everyone was looking at her. She felt her face turn bright red. She was so embarrassed that she felt frozen. She couldn't move. She couldn't speak. She was trapped. Just as Maya was about to stand up and run away, Sarah, the CEO, slammed a thick folder onto the table. "All right," Sarah said to Maya. "We are losing $3 million a year on our new campaign. Nobody likes our ideas. We need a fresh pair of eyes. Please, tell us, why is our marketing failing?" The room went completely silent. 10 pairs of eyes were staring at Maya. She felt like a deer in the headlights of a car. In her head, Maya was screaming, "I'm not a consultant. I'm here for a secretary job on the 7th floor." But then something strange happened. Because she knew she didn't belong there, her fears started to change. She thought, "I'm on the wrong floor anyway. I've already missed my real interview. I have nothing to lose. I might as well say what I think." Maya cleared her throat. She looked at the big screen at the front of the room. It showed a picture of a green energy bottle. The colors were dark and boring. The text was too long. "Well," Maya said. Her voice was surprisingly steady. "If I'm being honest, the design is quite dull." A man at the table gasped. "Dull! We spent 6 months on that." Maya didn't stop. "It's too serious. You were trying to sell green solutions, but the images look like a hospital. People don't want to feel like they are in a hospital. They want to feel like they are in nature. You need more light. You need less text. You need to show a person, not just a bottle." She stood up. She walked to the whiteboard. She picked up a blue marker. She started to draw. She drew a simple, beautiful leaf and a sun. She wrote 3 short, powerful words: clean, cool, yours. For the next 30 minutes, Maya forgot she was an intruder. She forgot she was a shy girl in a tight blazer. She talked about colors. She talked about social media. She talked about the way young people think. Because she wasn't trying to get the job, she was being 100% herself. She was brilliant. The people at the table were leaning forward. They were taking notes. Sarah, the CEO, was smiling. "Finally," Sarah whispered, "someone with a good idea." At 10:30 a.m., the meeting ended. The suits all stood up and shook Maya's hand. "Great work," they said. "Very impressive." Sarah stayed behind. She walked up to Maya. "That was the best presentation we've had in a year. I want you to come to my office. We need to talk about your contract." Maya felt a cold sweat on her back. Sarah, there is something I need to tell you." I know," Sarah said, waving her hand. "You're expensive, but we are willing to pay." "No," said Maya. She took a deep breath. She decided to be honest. I'm not the consultant. I'm Maya Gupta. I was looking for floor 7. I have an interview for a junior secretary job at TechStream. I pressed the wrong button in the lift." Sarah stopped walking. She turned around slowly. Her sharp glasses caught the light. "You... what?" Maya whispered. "I'm on the wrong floor. I'm so sorry. I was just too embarrassed to leave when the meeting started." The silence in the hallway felt like it lasted for an hour. Sarah stared at Maya. She looked at Maya's folder. She looked at the drawing Maya had made on the whiteboard through the glass door. Suddenly, Sarah's face turned very dark. She didn't say a word. She just pointed toward her office and said, "In. Now." Maya walked into the office. It was a giant room with a view of the whole city. She felt very small. She sat in the chair across from Sarah's desk. "So," Sarah said. She leaned back in her chair. "You are not a marketing expert with 10 years of experience." "No," Maya said. I'm just a girl who likes design. And you were going to a secretary interview? Yes. Sarah looked at Maya for a long time. Then she started to laugh. She laughed so hard her glasses almost fell off. Maya, Sarah said, wiping her eyes. We were waiting for a lady named Miss Haley. She is a famous marketing consultant, and she charges $5,000 an hour. She called 5 minutes before you arrived, and she said she was stuck in traffic. Sarah leaned forward. But here's the thing. Everything Miss Haley sent us last week was boring. Everything you said today was genius. You have a natural talent, Maya. You see things that other people don't. Sarah picked up a pen. I don't need a secretary, and clearly you are not a secretary. I need a creative assistant, someone who isn't afraid to tell me when my ideas are dull. The salary is double what TechStream was going to pay you. Do you want the job? Maya's jaw dropped. She couldn't believe it. Double? And I get to do design? And you get to do design, Sarah confirmed. Maya looked out the window at the city. She thought about the lift. She thought about the button for floor 7. If she had pressed the right button, she would be sitting in a small room right now, typing emails for a boss who didn't know her name. I accept, Maya said. Her voice was loud and clear. Good, Sarah said. Now go home, get some rest, and tomorrow, please press the button for floor 9. Maya walked out of the building. She felt like she was walking on air. She took off the tight blazer and threw it over her arm. She felt free. She walked past the lifts and saw the tall man from this morning. He was still frowning. Maya wanted to go up to him and hug him. If he hadn't been in the lift, she hadn't been nervous. If she hadn't been nervous, she wouldn't have pressed the wrong button. She realized that her mistake was actually the best thing she had ever done. She had been so focused on floor 7 that she almost missed the whole world on floor 9. As she walked to the bus stop, she saw a little girl who was crying because she had dropped her ice cream. Maya stopped. She went to the shop, bought a new ice cream, and gave it to the girl. Don't worry, Maya said, smiling. Sometimes when things fall, it just means something better is coming. That evening, Maya sat on her balcony. She watched the lights of the city. She thought about the right way to do things. We're told to have a plan. We are told to follow the rules. But sometimes the rules are just walls. Maya learned that the most important thing wasn't the floor number. It was the fact that she was brave enough to stay in the room. She was honest enough to speak her mind, and she was herself. Who you are is more important than where you're going. Because if you are the right person, every floor is the right floor. Maya's story is a beautiful reminder that our mistakes are often just redirections. We worry so much about doing everything perfectly, but perfection doesn't lead to growth. Curiosity does. Courage does. What about you, my friend? Have you ever made a big mistake that turned into something wonderful? Have you ever taken the wrong path and found a beautiful view? We would love to hear your stories in the comments. Let's share our blessings in disguise with each other. If Maya's story gave you a little more courage today, please give this video a like and share it with someone who is looking for their own Floor 9. I'm so happy we spent this time together. Stay brave, stay curious, and I will see you in the next story.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more English Talks with Avie. You can explore more videos here. Thanks.